going on, everybody? It's Ron from Ron's Movie News, and of course this is our second video to the Happy Death Day franchise. As like I said in the last video, I am doing a video for every day of the month. Some days I'm going to give out extra videos because I extra love you. However, this will be a review of Happy Death Day to You, the sequel to the 2017 slasher hit, directed by Christopher Landon once again. Which I actually also found out Christopher Landon directed Freaky, which is another film I plan to try to rewatch and review this Halloween season. Which now, realizing he directed it, makes sense. Happy Death Day to You is a sequel and brings back Jessica Rothe and Israel Bezord with some new characters. The film again follows Tree Gilman Roth. She's now trapped in the same time loop of a different irritation of her world. Jason Blum again serves as a producer through his Blumhouse Productions company, and this film ended up coming out February 13th, 2019. With a budget of $9 million, so they got a little bit more of a budget. It only made $64 million, which I'd say only, but that is still making money in the movie industry, in the movie world. And that's where, I get pissed off because these films have crossed over close to $200 million, just off $12 million to make both of them. Why do we not have a third fucking film? The directors came out here recently, and even Jessica Rothe said they have the story down. They know what they want to do. They're waiting. They're waiting for the green light, and we still haven't got it. And of course, Blumhouse decides to put out films such as fucking Night Swim. When you're sitting on this shit, when you can have a third film and at least make some money. I got invested into it. Now, the second film, in my opinion, is not as good as the first film. It leans into the sci-fi element and what they're trying to set up for this franchise more than the horror comedy slasher aspect of what they did with the first film. And I understand what they was doing. I enjoyed them furthering the story and furthering the explanation, which makes sense. However, this film didn't do what the first film did for me. It doesn't mean this is a bad film. I still enjoyed this film as well. It's still a little bit over an hour and a half long. It still has a few moments where, the horror aspect's good. The comedy, of course, is still good being stuck in this situation. However, like I said, this film is... It just kind of went downhill a little bit. But this film, like I said, another negative that kind of came out of this film was that this film came out in February when it should have came out in October. Like, you made a lot of money dropping the first one in October. I don't comprehend why you dropped the second one 2 years later in February. Horror films need to stick to around October, November release. Doesn't mean you can't have one. January sometimes does well. It's just kind of placing these films where they need to be placed sometimes. The difference with this film is, I felt like it done a great aspect as well as like introducing pretty much like a multiverse theory of a different type of world, being thrown into a different time loop and a different universe where the guy she fell in love with is now in love with somebody different. Changing some aspects from the first film, making it like the killer different in this film, which also I kind of hated. I didn't really like who they had as the killer in this film. On a bright side, watching this again for like a third or fourth time, I couldn't remember who the killer was in the second film, so that's how forgettable it was. But also bringing back her mother who's died in her world, and making her alive in this one, and making her choose whether she wants to be in a world where her mom's alive or in a world where she's with possibly her future love husband, etc. It pulls at you because it's like I love films where you put yourself in a situation and think, what would I do in this situation? In these films, like I said, it's tough because you don't know what you truly would do, because it's like somebody that's died in your life, it's been a long time since you've seen them, and it's like, do I truly would I want to be with them versus they're pitching a hard circumstantial role, especially like the first film showing you like she just met this guy. How does she, and then she talks about in the second film, like, how does she know he's the one versus if she stayed in this world, at least she has her mom. So I do like the aspects of what they brought into this film with some of the situations that Jessica Rolfe had to face. I believe she's awesome in this role again. She showed character development and her character arc is pretty good throughout these two films. And then, of course, it leaves off on somewhat of a twist hanger because there is a post-credit scene. These kids get, after the machine that some of the side characters built called Sissy gets pulled in from the government to learn how to use it in situations, and that's kind of where we leave our characters at, and it seems like we'll never know where they were heading because, like I said, that the writer and the director and all of them, they had a plan for a third film, and they have yet to get it greenlit. So that is my, well, as a casual film fan, I'm going to give this a B+. Critically, I'm going to give it a B-. It's still, like I said, interesting. It's still worth your time, especially if you enjoyed the first one. If you've yet to watch either of these, I do truly recommend going and watch them on Peacock. As always, though, if you guys have yet to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like this video, like my videos, all that shit, please do so. It helps me out. I'm trying to build this channel. I have slowly been building. I want to wake up one day and be like, oh shit, we actually did something, grew more. It's slowly going. I'm blessed. I'm patient, and I hope 2 years from now, this channel keeps growing, and it's just, looking back, was awesome where I came from. And it's all because of you guys. You guys taking time out of your day to check me out. And I don't know if you're even watched to this part of the video, but if you have, I really appreciate it, and I love you. And if you guys are going through some hardship, I am too, and I understand it, and I hope it gets better for you. But as always, if you need anything, reach out, comment on a video. I want to talk to my community. This is why I do this shit, and thank you guys for letting me do it. I will see you guys next time. I have yet to find out what film I'm doing next. I still need to go watch Don't Let Go, Transformers 1, Wild Robot. And I am going to go watch the second Joker Thursday night, so that will be out. That video will be out Thursday night. However, if you've yet to watch my review of the first Joker, which isn't super long and not super interesting, but it's there, it's on the channel. Please check it out. As always, this is Ron from Ron's Movie News, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I hope you guys' Halloween season is scary as shit, and you guys love it. Peace.